Once again, it's brought to you by Channel ISB 1020. I'm here giving y'all another part of the perpetual lies that they tell. And they've been telling some lies. And you got to understand, again, like a minute ago, they were saying to the young, this is for the young black female. Because you the main one that's going to be feeding your kids. You're going to have to be careful about the information your kids receive. It's going to be for you to be aware. Hopefully you get this and you can be aware that way you don't allow your kids to receive the bullshit we receive or to believe in the bullshit we believe. Because right now we're in the habit of blaming God for everything. Not realizing, nigga, you responsible. If you can band together, you can band together and prevent some shit to happen. Stop blaming God or stop waiting on God to come save you for something. It's just, I mean, goddamn, for real, nigga. And that's how they made us. They wanted us to be like this, to wait on a savior to come save us instead of saving ourselves. They wanted to create this habit, this mentality that something other than yourself gonna save you. That's the mentality they wanted us to have. These are part of the perpetual lies they've been telling. And a lot of people in power, black people, black priests, know better. They know better, but they don't. Some people don't give a fuck, nigga. If you're gonna believe this shit, if this is what you want to hear, nigga, I'm gonna tell it to you. And I'm gonna dress it up real good for you to love it. That's just the mentality of the world. But somebody got to give a fuck because the book do say, and I'm not saying the Bible is correct, but I'm saying the Bible do say God so loved the world. I'm just saying, he so loved the world that he gave the world something to help everybody out. All y'all niggas can have life. You can look at that the way you want to look at it, but I'm just saying to have that mentality, the world mentality. It just but you godly. I'm just, nigga, don't add up. But young black woman, you're gonna have to understand this is the real spiel we've been trying to drop. We lost the war. It was no slave trade. It was a war. And they was taking man and woman power out of Africa. Just think. The black man had 10, 15, 20 wives. Just imagine how many kids he had. It was too many people to fight. So they was taking manpower, putting them in prisons. That's all this is. If somebody else tell you they went to war in Vietnam and they was a prisoner of war, you attended it. You want to hear about this shit. What happened when you was a prisoner of war? But here it is. We trying to explain to y'all we was prisoners of war. We fought against the system, and the system was white supremacy and their God. Some of us, I keep saying, we keep trying to show y'all. Some of us have bowed down. I know you don't want to look at it. Some of us have bowed down and worship their God, and they trying to tell you that's your God. That's really your God. So your God sold you out. Nigga, it just don't make sense. It's like telling you, will you, young black woman or older black woman that got kids, will you sell your kids out? That's a hard thing to do to get a woman to turn against her kids, nigga. That's the problem a lot of black men have when fucking with a woman with kids because she's gonna put her kids first. So, but you trying to tell me God sold us out. No, nigga, that is not what happened, young black woman. That is not what the fuck happened. What the fuck happened is the man wouldn't listen. We kept going over there trying to raise him up out of that dark stage, lift his mind up out of that dark stage. Nigga, you cannot be doing and fucking with the shit you fucking with. You cannot be tapping into this dark stage and trying to be in this dark stage with this savage shit. It's not gonna end well. You just focus on this savage shit, this dark shit. It's not gonna end well, nigga. And now today, this nigga has the power to destroy this whole fucking planet and everybody on it. You need to think about this, young black woman coming up. We need to think about this instead of blaming God, thinking God is in control of this or some Anarchy's gonna come down and save black people. They wanted us to have that mentality, that something gonna save us mentality. Other than realize, nigga, you gotta band together and stop this shit. You gotta put an end to the bullshit. This is what we was trying to do. We kept going over there doing what they call civilizing them. We was trying to put an end to the bullshit. But I guess they started saying, fuck this shit. We got to start attacking Africa to stop these niggas from coming over here, getting us out of this dark stage because we need to tap into something that's going to give us power over everybody. And they tapped into it, firepower. And since they created firepower, since their God gave them firepower, they ain't look back, nigga. But right now, he possessed the ability. to destroy this whole planet and everybody on this planet. And we saying the Anarchy's coming. Just think what he's gonna do when the Anarchy's come. Do you think he gonna surrender? Nigga, just think, have he showed the ability to surrender and say, okay, you got me, I'm gonna pay for my crimes? Come on, nigga, that nigga will. Come on, nigga, he have not showed the ability to surrender. That is not his mentality. He didn't showed us that nigga I would spaz out any moment. All you got to do is go look at Hitler. Hitler. If you, I read the story of Hitler. I'm talking about the big, thick, fat ass book. It started off being with Hitler upset with the way Germany was. The poverty and who had the riches in Germany was the Jews. It started off being on some shit like that. But it was a campaign already before Hitler got into office. But it started off being on some shit like that. Expelling the Jews out of Germany. But them niggas end up killing the Jews instead of expelling them. Y'all gotta leave. They could have just put out a mandate, nigga, y'all got to leave. But they just decided to kill them niggas. Not only did they decide to kill them niggas, did y'all not see that shit? Did y'all not sit down and see what them Jewish niggas went through? Instead of expelling them, nigga, they put them through concentration camps and gas chambers. And even though the gas chambers may not have killed them, they still stacked them on top of each other. How. You got to realize the mentality of this nigga, man. And Hitler, it started off again on some, we're gonna get rid of the Jews out of Germany because they the one with all the money and we sitting over here poor. And it ended up killing the Jews by untold numbers, nigga. Putting them in concentration camps. Sending them through the gas chambers. And if the gas chamber didn't kill them, stacking them niggas up alive, sick. Go watch that shit, nigga. That was some, it's showing you the mentality of this nigga, man. And if had not Hitler, just think if had not Hitler wouldn't have been stopped. I know if it was the fifth, my auntie would be my uncle, but I'm just saying Hitler was trying to take over the world. Just think what this nigga would have done. And I'm trying to show y'all the mentality, young black woman, the mentality of this nigga. He does not have the mentality you think he got. He's showing signs of intelligence, but just think, nigga. This nigga got the power right now to destroy this whole motherfucking planet. And I use Pearl Harbor as an example. During the fight, Japan came over and dropped the bomb on Pearl Harbor, clearly a military base. But the white man went over there and dropped some bombs, and killed thousands of motherfuckers that had nothing to do with the war. Nothing. That is his mentality. So you saying some Anakis finna come? Some world universe police people finna come and get this nigga and arrest him and make him pay for his crime? What do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna, okay, I surrender? That's not his mentality. That nigga does not have the mentality like that. You need to think about what he's gonna do. Just be sure about what he's gonna do. So I don't think the Anakis need to show up right now. I think some kind of way we need to convince this nigga, hey, some other kind of way. Because if some Anakis show up, do you think he's going to surrender? He's not. And he didn't fuck with our mind so much, it's gonna be a lot of niggas trying to protect his power, trying to protect his supremacy, trying to keep him in control, like when niggas went to Vietnam. Do you know what the time was, young black woman, when niggas went to Vietnam? Do you know the state and the condition of black people because of the white man during Vietnam, and niggas still went to war to fight for this nigga? Just think. After all the bullshit he done sent us through, we still went to war and fought for him. You need to think that's power, nigga. That's mind control, nigga. Just, I'm sorry, it is what it is. That is mind control. That is power, nigga. And it starts off, you can do shit like that when you got a white God, when you got a white God in the church. Or whoever the mods, you got a white God that black people worship. That's how it starts. Because if you can bow down and worship a white God, nigga, then the white man is God. Not saying he's not. If you pay attention to the Bible, it's saying it's a lot of gods. Some of them good and some of them bad. Just it is what it is, man. And we'd have allowed this nigga, young black woman, listen, this nigga now possessed the power and you not realizing he would do anything possible to stay in power. Anything, create these Facebook apps. What, you giving up your rights to your phone being recorded, to microphone, giving up everything that way he can record and watch everything. Why you think certain shit you can't drop on these motherfucking apps? Why you think certain shit they will remove the sound from that shit? They don't want that shit out. They don't want you having that mentality. They want to continue. If you drop shit that perpetuates white rule over black people, they would let that shit go. Anything, whether it's in a religious aspect, a science aspect, biological aspect, they don't give a fuck. But when you start dropping something that can contend to white rule over black people, they're gonna silence that shit. They don't want that shit out, young black woman. They don't want you armored with the truth. They don't want you fucking with the holy tablets. They don't want you going back there reading that script. They understand the Bible is nothing but a script that their priest gave them and told them follow the script, nigga. And we got these niggas forever. That's why right now today niggas are reading this book saying we the children of Israel and God punished us. Not realizing that was a motherfucking script. That's it, and that's all. And we trying to show y'all they got us. This nigga is that goddamn shrewd, and there's some people in high places, black people that know that motherfucking book is a script, but will not tell you. They will do everything they can to keep your nigga ass in the dark. Because they getting a piece of the pie. As long as I get a piece of this nigga pie, I'm good. As long as I get a piece of the nigga pie, and I'm trying to tell you, young black woman, anything that any religion, any spirituality that show up and omits the black woman out of the heavenly body, that is non-African, nigga. Any religion that does not allow our spirituality, that does not open the door for the black man to have several wives, is non-African, nigga. It is real spill. It is what it is. So you got to understand Christianity in its setup, in its format, the way it says, it's attack on Africa and everything. That's African. Islam in its setup and its format, it's an attack on Africa and everything that it stood for. A lot of people like to say that Jesus was born in Ethiopia. Nigga, stop! Stop. Can we stop the bullshit? Can we all sit down and just be real about all this shit, nigga? Stop the bullshit. Jesus was born in Ethiopia, nigga. Out of all the places on earth, he was born just in Ethiopia, nigga? Or what you saying, the concept of the church was born in Ethiopia. That what you saying? And that's still impossible because our scholars have showed us every fuck. Check this out, young black woman. The idea of Isis and having a son, Horus, that whole concept, uh, that is the same concept that existed in Ethiopia. With or what they call, the white man called Mary and Jesus, the baby. That is the exact same concept. It may have been told different. It may have changed through time, but that is the same concept. It's no different. Just look at the images. It is the same concept. And what we're trying to show y'all, that same concept existed throughout the whole of fucking Africa. That was nothing new. That was our concept. That was our statue. That was our image that we live by. That concept of the ideal of a woman having a son and having to raise her son with the ideal of revenge. See, that's what I'm saying. Vengeance. That's what I'm saying. That story does not match. The story of Jesus does not match the story of Esau and Isis. That is, the story fits Esau. I mean, Esau, it fit him. It's close to Esau, but it's not close to the son that they had. It is not close because the son was on a vengeful path. Was on a path of revenge, nigga. You fucked over my mama and my daddy, nigga. I'm gonna get you back. He was on that type of path. The story of Jesus is not on that path. Jesus is just on the path of I'm about my father's house, nigga. This is what I'm doing. But the story of Horus, he was about his mother's and his father's house, nigga. You fucked over my father, you fucked over my mama, nigga. I'm paying you back. The stories do not fit, but what I'm trying to show, that shit did not start in Ethiopia. Who knows where it started? But that whole format, the that you could say for your clarity, Mary and having a son. That whole shit was existed in the whole of Africa, nigga. Our scholars then proved it before the first dynasty was built. All that spirituality, that whole mentality existed in the whole of Africa. What happened is during the war, Ethiopia began to fight, but they was vested. And they appealed to the Roman church and told them, hey, nigga, we Christians too, nigga. And they took their foot off Ethiopia. That's why some of the images, the same as images that's on the hieroglyphics, them images that they had painted on the walls or whatever the fuck, in glass, them same images still exist today. But everybody else that opposed white supremacy and the white God that they created, They trampled over them niggas. They tore down every motherfucking thing. That way you won't have no limit. That way you won't have no memory. What the fuck was there? That's why Ethiopia still got these old ass images and they telling the story like it came out of Ethiopia. You get a piece of the pie too, nigga. We giving you a piece of the pie. Just think about this young black woman. We giving you a piece of the pie too, nigga, because you surrendered first. That's all that happened. I'm not blaming Ethiopia for surrendering. I'm just saying this is what happened. You surrendered first, nigga, but that same ideology, that same spirituality existed in the whole of motherfucking Africa, nigga. It wasn't just in Ethiopia. Stop. Let's stop being and let them tell the story and then repeat it the way they telling it. Stop, nigga, that whole mentality, the ideal of having the woman and a son, all that shit existed in the whole of Africa. That was nothing new. It just seems like it came out of Ethiopia because Ethiopia wasn't trampled down. All the images wasn't tore down. Everybody else that was fighting during the war, they tore all that motherfucking shit down for opposing them and their God. No cap, just a whole lot of cap.